Let's take a look at question number 7. It says solve equations by factoring, and we got negative 6x squared minus 7x plus 3 equals 0. This is the zero factor property. Some books call it the zero product principle. There's a whole bunch of different names for it. What it says is if you got something times something else equals 0, like p times q is equal to 0, p and q can be anything, then you set p equals 0 and you'll set q is equal to 0. So problem number 7, we have negative 6x squared minus 7x plus 3 equals 0. And I like this name the best because it tells you exactly what to do. The first part, 0 here, tells you get 0 on one side, which we have. The next one, factor. That means to factor the other side. Well, our first thing we'll do is factor out the GCF. While they don't have anything in common, our first term is negative, and you never want that negative. So we'll factor out a negative, and we'll get 6x squared plus 7x minus 3 equals 0. Now the next method we use is key number. We got x squared, x, no x, and there's a number for the x squared. With the key number, we take the number at the beginning, which is 6, times the number at the end, which is 3. Now notice that's a negative 3, but I ignore signs. We handle that later on. 6 times 3 is 18. We'll come up with 3 columns. A product column where we write down all products give us 18. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. Add these together. 1 plus 18 is 19, 2 plus 9 is 11, 3 plus 6 is 9. Subtract them. 18 minus 1 is 17, 9 minus 2 is 7, 6 minus 3 is 3. Now the number we're looking for is a number in our middle term, which is 7, which is right here, which means we're going to use 2 and 9. And how we use that is we rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. The larger number in our p column, which is a 9, is always going to be the same sign as the middle term, which is positive. The number I circled in the difference column, d for different signs, so if the 9 is positive, then the 2 will be negative. And then we'll factor by grouping. Now the negative 1 just keeps carrying down. Our first two terms, the first group, has a 3x in common, and that gives us 2x plus 3. Second group, the last two terms, doesn't have anything in common, but my first term is negative, so I'll factor out a negative 1, and that gives us 2x plus 3. Well, now they both have a 2x plus 3, so I'll factor that out in front. And if I cross those out, that'll tell me what goes in my second set of parentheses, which is 3x minus 1. Okay, so we got 0 on one side, we got the other side factored. The zero factor property says you set each one of those equal to 0, but if I set negative 1 equal to 0, I'm solving for x. There is no x to solve for there. We never set numbers equal to 0. It doesn't do us any good. So I'll set 2x plus 3 equals 0, and I'll set 3x minus 1 equals 0. And then I'll solve each one of these. These are linear equations. So take 3 over and becomes a negative 3. Here I'll take the negative 1 over, it becomes a positive 1. My first equation, divide both sides by 2. And those 2's cancel. And we got x is equal to negative 3/2. On this one I'll take the both sides divided by 3. And that gives us, or 1/3, sorry. So our answer is negative 3/2 and 1/3. Negative 3/2 and 1/3. Looks like D is in David. And that's our answer.